Hey guys, welcome to Interesting Winter Wild Rift. So today we're back with yet another Jinx supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at Immoral SHIELDBOW on Jinx. So of course we all know the most ideal build for Jinx is basically, well, I say we all know, but what's going on is actually a lot of people are going for the Stormrazor Magnetic Blaster build that I've covered previously. So check that one out if you haven't. But I actually normally think this second guy's build is the best, going for Bloodthirster, Runans, Blaster, and then Moral Reminder and IE is the best. So this build basically subs out BT and puts in SHIELDBOW. Now SHIELDBOW of course is a really good defensive option for Jinx, and the shield you get is pretty huge and will probably save your life here and there, especially if you're into a team that has some threats into you. So, first up, we start the Gluttonous Greaves for the early AD and Omnivamp, and then we go for Immoral SHIELDBOW. Now, the thing about Immoral SHIELDBOW is it gives you quite a bit less AD than Bloodthirster, but what it instead gives you is a little bit of attack speed, and it also gives you the lifesteal. Now, lifesteal, of course, it gives you only 5%, but when you trigger the Belfurer passive, which of course is when your lifeline procs, it gives you extra 8% physical vamps. And if you take a look at Bloodthirster, Bloodthirster gives you 10% flat. So when your SHIELDBOW is proc, it actually gives you 13%, which is more than Bloodthirster. And also, of course, you also get the shield. So SHIELDBOW definitely does have its moments where it outshines Bloodthirster, but by and large, Bloodthirster is the more consistent option. Then we go into our 2 attack speed items. First up, Runans to attack 3 people at the same time. Very important on Jinx to get resets on this. And then also you have Magnetic Blaster for the additional range for the poke in the mid and late game, as well as just more attack speed. And then your final 2 items, which are interchangeable in terms of item slot, is going to be IE for your extra AD and crit damage, as well as your Moral Reminder for Armor Pen and Grievous Wounds. Of course, as I mentioned, you can go for Moral Reminder before IE if you're against a very tanky team. So for the runes, you want to go for Lethal Tempo, attack speed, and attack range. Brutal, of course, because you attack a ton as an ADC, so a lot of brutal damage there. Giant Slayer, of course, to counter the tanks. More attack speed with Alacrity, and finally Bone Plating, of course, for the defensive capabilities. And then for your spells, you want to go for Flash, and then most of the time, you want to go for either Cleanse if you're against, enemies with key CC abilities, or Ghost. Ghost, of course, really useful to use in conjunction with your resets to kite around fights and to just run people down, things like that. But with all that said, let's take a look at the gameplay. Okay, so let's have a look at the gameplay. Now, as you guys can see, this is a little bit of a long one. I believe that there is 2 Elder Dragons and maybe like 3 Barons at the minimum. Yeah, it's a really long gameplay. As you can probably already tell, just from the length of the video. So good news is that you will get to, of course, see Jinx at max build. So right at the beginning, Thresh Varus goes in very aggressively. I cleanse out immediately to get my spacing, so Thresh doesn't auto attack me for free. Varus misses the Q, and I'm in rocket form, blasting them down. Now I accidentally minigun the ward by accident, but thankfully I still have enough damage to take out the Thresh here. So that mistake I made by auto-attacking the minigun could have been what prevented me from getting the kill, and if that was the case, that would be very sad. But thankfully we are indeed able to pick up the kill. Now here Varus also 1 HP, so I was trying to zap and maybe auto him for the kill, but unfortunately that was not the case. Something else I could have done is when I got the kill onto Thresh, I could actually have flashed forward and gotten the kill onto Varus as well. But there we tried to actually back in the control or the bush, but since Thresh face checked the bush, I actually have to flash away because we have to respect the fact that Varus might be right behind him, and if he CCs us, we might just die. So I have to reactively flash there to ensure that I don't actually die. So here, we are actually very close to getting enough gold for boots. So here we're actually staying just to collect another wave, so that we have enough gold for boots, because if not, we're back on a very awkward number, and that is not going to be very good. Now Thresh in the meantime has gotten himself poked back to the point where he's like basically 1 HP again. Varus didn't get back, so he's still kind of low as well. And yeah, Jinx early game generally is not this good, but it's going pretty well for us this time. Now Pantheon comes in for the gang, stuns the minion, and yeah, that's about it. So, but the good thing about this is we are able to push out the wave and then get a reset. Yeah, gotta give him a question mark ping for that one. And yeah, so now we're gonna get a reset. We're gonna be able to complete at least our boots. There we go. And then a longsword as well, because we managed to push the wave all the way in, right into our tower. So really good start to the game. And as I mentioned, in this game, you will be able to see Jinx in the early, mid, and late game. We do reach full build in this game, and you will see, where her power can be. But of course, this is a atypical Jinx game in the sense that we've got an early game kill, and normally Jinx doesn't get kills in lane very easily because she's normally someone who wants to just scale into the mid and late game, and you don't really get kills in lane. But when you do, you can see how you can accelerate into the game and then become the hyper carry that you always dream of. So here Nami hits a beautiful two-man bubble into the root, and Pantheon now just cuts off their escape. Now we're blasting Varus, who pops the barrier, going onto minigun form just to pick up the Varus, and then Thresh goes down as well to the minigun. And here we pick up two more quick kills. So in this case, we are now 3-0, 3 minutes into the game. And as I said, that's a very atypical situation for Jinx, because Jinx normally doesn't get so many early game kills. And here we're even getting a couple of tower plates. So we're super duper accelerated. Who would have thought in the Jinx versus Varus matchup? Jinx is like double of Varus's gold. That's just wild when you think about it. But really the main reason we're being so ahead here is really from the enemy misplaying more so than us playing well. I mean, of course we do have to play well to punish the misplay, but to explain how this managed to happen, basically Varus and Thresh are all in lane, right? And what this means is we need Thresh to hit his hook and his flay and his CC to then let Varus auto attack, stack up his blood, and then one-shot somebody, or let Varus hit his ult, right? But in this case, Thresh has not been hitting his CC. He's been instead walking up and getting poked for free. And at the initial level 1 trade, because Varus was standing right next to Thresh, Varus and Thresh are both getting rocketed together, because Rocket of course does AoE damage. And you can see that Varus is basically making the same mistake here, which is that with my rockets, I can outrange him. So if he gets close enough to get rocketed by me, but he cannot auto attack me back, he's just gonna take free poke just from one auto, and that's what he and Thresh have been doing the entire game. And they've just been taking a lot of free pokes. So it comes to a point where if they go in when they are low, we're gonna kill them. If they don't go in when they're low, we might be able to go in on them. Like Nami can engage with the bubble or the wave as well, and they might overextend and walk into my traps or whatnot. So we have ways to engage as well. And if that happens, they obviously are likely to die. Now here of course Thresh is not actually that low, but you can see that here he's actually like you can see he's already just dying. So here we just pick up the kill, and here we get the reset, go onto Varus. Varus has to pop barrier and flash to get to safety. Ahri is now coming onto the roam, and we're gonna let her finish off that kill while we work on finishing off this tower. Ahri picks up the kill onto Varus, gives us another assist, and we're 3-0-2 now. Nami picking up the kill onto Thresh just now as well. And then we get the tower, get the reset, use it to clear the next minion wave, and then we are able to go over, get a deep ward in the enemy jungle, and then go over and just help out with 2 auto attacks onto the Baron, not Baron, onto the Dragon, and then getting a nice reset. And this is going to allow us to complete SHIELDBOW and our Nash's Talon. Now SHIELDBOW is a very amazing early game item, and the reason is that in the early game that shield is very very significant. Like you've seen that already twice. We couldn't kill Varus because of his barrier, and barrier is only such a small shield, right? When you think about the SHIELDBOW shield, it's so much bigger, and if it procs at the correct time, it can be the difference maker in a fight. Right, so SHIELDBOW really strong in the early game, does kind of fall off in the mid to late game though. Now here we're going in again. Varus is getting chain CC here. Varus ends up getting the kill onto Nami, but I am able to trade the kill back onto Varus. Now minigunning the Thresh, I'm not gonna bother. He's getting the flay on me, but I'm still auto attacking him. He's like 1 HP at this point. One more auto is gonna do it, but he outspaces me. I try to rocket him, but he dodges. So unfortunately, we don't get the kill onto the Thresh. It's highly unfortunate, but we don't want to overchase because as you can see, Yasuo is now on my tail. I have to flash away because I'm scared of him basically just going onto me. And here Ahri comes and follows the roam, but ends up just coming over to donate a kill to Yasuo, which is not the greatest. Nami's not here to help support me, gives me the heals, and we're able to continue on just blasting the minions and picking up this wave. Now we're pretty close to getting Runan's Hurricane at this point, so we're going to continue on farming the next wave. Varus and Thresh are missing, not in lane. Thresh is now back, hooks the minion. Is he going to go in? Yes, he is. He gets the slow. Yeah, we're blasting him for free. You can see he has basically done no damage to me and Nami at all, and he's taken like about a quarter of his health worth of damage, so he is just getting poked to the ground. And that's kind of what we are mainly doing here as Jinx. We're just poking them with the rockets. Now, the main issue with poking them with the rockets is really that in the early game, you consume a lot of mana with the rockets, and the mana is basically the ammo for the rockets, right? So here Pantheon comes in. Somehow Thresh misses the hook on me. We're gonna focus down Thresh. We get the kill on him. We get rooted by Varus. Don't have cleanse up, but my team is able to. Actually, they're not able to finish off Varus. Finally, they are. I could have got the kill at the Zap there, but Nami picks up another kill here. And then we're just going to clear up this minion wave. So 5-0-3 now. Highest goal in the game at 7k. Next highest in the enemy team is the Morg and the Volley with about 1k gold less than me. So we're in a very, very good spot. But of course, when you are very hit as a Jinx, the game is in a very, very good spot, but it's not like automatically won yet, right? Because at the end of the day, there's still a lot of ways people can kill me, right? Yasuo getting on top of me and ulting me, Thresh getting any kind of CC on me, Morgana catching me out, Volibear just running me down, correct? So many ways to lose the game. Here, once again, I'm max range, just blasting people, Thresh dies, we get a reset, we're running people down, Morgana gets bubbled by Nami, ends up going down, and Ahri is on the chase for Varus. Varus gets completely killed by Ahri and Pantheon. Now Yasuo is now on the run. We're chasing him down. He tries to dash through the wolves. Eventually Pantheon gets over, point and click stuns him, and we're able to get the kill. Volley is the last person standing. I believe Thresh is now respawning off of his death just now, so Volley's the last person standing. And we're trying to force this mid lane tower. He's trying to clear up the wave. Here, I'm planning to get the tower reset and blast the Volley. Here you can see I get the reset. I'm blasting Volley. I do a ton of damage to him at the start, but Nami ends up going down. I'm kiting away, and here I proc my SHIELDBOW in the fight. I'm thinking I can get reset on Volley and run away, but instead I flash for it. Volley ends up being way too tanky for me to handle, and then Varus kills me and gets a shutdown. Now this is a very game throwing kind of play where I give Varus a 5k goal, not 5k goal, 500 goal shutdown. Wrong direction on the Pantheon shield. Yeah, I give Varus a pretty huge shutdown from playing a bit too aggressive. Now you can see Varus is like 5-5. He's died like 5 times, but somehow he is only like 1k goal behind me, which actually blows my mind. Anyways, he's getting run down by Fiora, but not quite. Now we respawn, we're back on the map. And we're gonna quickly clear this wave. Dragon is being contested by both teams. I'm coming in at an angle. Enemy team already picks up the dragon. Wind wall is up, I can't really hit anything. Pantheon is ulting in for some reason. Yasuo tries to ult me, but I'm able to quickly cleanse away from the ulti. And here I'm just blasting max range whoever I can reach, which my team is, you can see my team is losing the fight. This is kind of the issue with a hyper carry like Jinx, which is that I need my team to kind of frontline. I can't really frontline that well, right? So I'm just max range trying to blast whoever I can, like what I'm doing here. But I do need the enemy team to be focusing other people, namely like Fiora and Pantheon, right? They're the two most frontline champions on our team. But the fact that they're dead now leaves me, Ahri, and Nami in a little bit of a pickle, because we don't have anyone to tank for us, and we don't really want to walk up and tank ourselves, right? Because we're squishy. So that's a little bit of an issue. So you can see the game is far from won, despite the fact we started off the game very, very well. You will see a number of mistakes made by both myself and my team in this game. And you already seen one there with me flashing in onto the Volibear and giving over a shutdown onto Varus instead. And here we're just picking up more farm. Almost enough for the Blaster already. We're going to get both components of Blaster and just 600 gold away. So just a little bit more farming and we're going to get there. Onto 3 items. Of course, being a hyper carry, Jinx spikes on every item. And that's just going to be great when we pick up more and more items. So here we're just going to farm the Raptors. And then head back to mid where likely someone is going to be pushing in. There we go, Varus shows up. Varus building full on hit with the Bork into Runans. Thresh tries to flash hook me, but unfortunately for him, he misses it. So he has expended flash for no good reason. And here we're able to actually get the magnetic blaster. So we're gonna actually recall and pick up that blaster like so. We do have SHIELDBOW up, so a little bit of extra level of safety. Yasuo is trying to push in Pantheon on the 1v1. And here you can see we're doing the same thing we did in lanes. You can see we're hitting them when they can't hit us, right? Nami tries to go for a wave, doesn't really hit, gets flayed instead. Varus ends up getting bubbled. And we end up... Okay, so here I believe we make another mistake here. So see, I'm still at full health. Varus is at half health and so is Thresh. So I'm thinking we can probably win a fight here. I'm now just blasting them. Unfortunately for me, Varus ults me and then I get chain CC. The shield bow procs, but I end up dying anyway through the shield bow. So this is kind of the point in the game where I kind of realized that, man, I thought I was really fed, but actually I'm really not. Because like you can see now, Varus has the same goal as me. He might even get more if he kills this Fiora here. Looks like that is indeed going to be the case. So Varus now has more gold than me, the most gold in the game. And I was destroying him in lane. So now I have a little bit of an awkward situation where Varus can outdamage me. In a 1v1, I believe Varus wins. Right, so I can't really 1v1 him, which I don't really want to do anyway. But now Varus is kind of a issue where he can attack all of my teammates at the same time. He can obviously carry the game as an ADC. And then we have Volley, who is even more, or not even more, but he's just as fast as the Varus. He's super duper tanky. I can't really kill him. And this is kind of sometimes the issue you face with Jinx, right? If there's one like really tanky frontliner on the enemy team, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble because you're not really the best at killing tanks. I mean, you're not the worst either, but you're not the best at killing tanks. Not like a Varus or a Vayne, who's really good at killing tanks. So you're gonna struggle a bit to kill tanks, and sometimes you spend the whole fight just blasting the enemy tank because that's the only person you can reach, and you're not able to kill him, so you can't get a reset, and you're not able to reach the backline, so you're basically kind of just screwed because then you can really only hit the tank, and then your entire team dies to their team, and then you're left with no frontline, no team, and then either you die yourself or you're gonna have to run away and you're not able to win the team fight. So this is kind of the biggest fear, for hyper carries like Jinx, which is that you kind of find yourselves in these situations where there's not a lot you can do, right? And this is kind of just the way the game is designed, right? If you could just dive the backline yourself as an ADC, as like a Jinx, something's wrong with the game, right? So this is kind of how it's meant to be, and that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles. Here, Volibear gets an in-hit for free, and another one at the bottom. We're desperately trying to defend our base at this point to not lose the game. I'm using my max range rockets to try to clear out the minions, and not put myself at any unnecessary risk. Last Dragon has come up, and any team can have that one for all I care, because it's not going to be sold for any team. So I couldn't care less if they got on that one. But I think that my team looks like they're going to contest. I'm just trying to walk down mid, but my whole team goes to Dragon, right? So it's better for me to be in a team fight than to not be in. Thresh just dies. Yasuo now has the wind wall up. I managed to kill him. And now Varus is in a 1v2 against myself and Nami. I'm minigunning him down and we eventually kill him and get a 1k gold shutdown. Volibear now coming over the wall. We quickly flash away and kite him out just a little bit. They do get the dragon, but at the cost of 3 of their teammates. I mean, it's a 3-for-3 trade, and they did get dragon, so you could say it's winning for them. But now Varus committed the exact same mistake that I did in the early game, which is that he now gives me a 1k gold shutdown, and now I'm catching up to him in terms of gold. You can see that on this base, I can actually pick up the IE already. I also get the anti-heal component, which is going to be very useful against Varus and his teammates as well, like Volley and Yasuo. So you can see that Varus basically makes the exact same mistake, gives me a huge shutdown, even like double the shutdown I gave him, and yeah, it's a huge swing. So now I'm just desperately trying to clear all these waves and pick up all this farm to hit full build. I'm like 1 item away from full build, plus getting my enchant, which I have not yet gone. But I'm really close to getting full build at this point. And I'm thinking here enemy could be on Baron, so we kind of have to check it. Turns out that's not really the case. Pantheon decides to jump in by himself onto Varus, instantly just dies and gives the enemy team a window to get Baron. Here I get slowed and ignited, so I'm going to cleanse out, and now I'm just blasting whoever's the nearest target once again. You can see that here a lot of people are getting very low. Windwall comes in and kind of ruins my life again. Yasuo now is just killing me. You can see, look at that. Look at those health bars. They're all 1 HP. Ahri goes in, gets a double kill, going for the triple. Ahri gets a triple kill with all her ult charges. This is actually a Ahri pentakill, but she just whiffs all her spells into the stasis, gets chain CC, stasis herself, and dies. Yeah, that was one of the easiest pentakills I've seen in my life. All she had to do was wait for Morgana to come out of the stasis and then use her spells, but instead she just uses all her spells into the stasis. Thankfully, Pantheon is up to defend the base and the enemy team cannot end the game. Thankfully. But that was Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, now Thresh and Morgana 1v2ing the Pantheon. Pantheon about to get the same treatment. He can't win this fight. Fortunately for him, Morgana runs away, so he actually wins the fight, which is something that never should have happened. Morgana kind of mucked it up a lot there, and as a result, Thresh does end up dying. Now, 40 seconds away from Elder spawning, and Baron is already alive. At this point, I need to get this red buff. Um, and I'm really close to getting my Mole Reminder. I'm just farming wherever I can. I believe I have enough for Mole Reminder now, so I'm going to quickly back and pick up the Mole Reminder. My Shield Bow is about to come up for the team fight, which is great. And my team is starting out Baron. Enemy team realizes this, comes over to contest, and we're now once again full range, just blasting whoever is near. Volibear gets rooted, thankfully. I spawn a low HP Morgana. I flash in to get the reset on her. I get the reset on Morgana. Now with that reset, I'm blasting. I'm a little bit into the wind wall, but I'm trying my best. Max range, we kill the volley, re-kill, triple kill onto the Varus. We're chasing down the Thresh, but Thresh is able to escape. Doesn't matter though. With that huge teamfight win, we can get both Elder and Baron. So sometimes you do have to pull out that aggressive flash, because sometimes just that one reset can change the entire team fight. I used everything there, my flash, my cleanse, and everything. I mean, I didn't use my ult, but I used basically everything I had, and we really need someone to clear that bot wave, and that someone should be Fiora, who is in desperate need of gold, to be very honest. And also we need Pantheon to come over here to the Baron. Now here with Elder, I mean, entire enemy team is dead anyway, so only Thresh can really contest, but you can see him in the top lane just clearing waves, so it's pretty much a free Baron. So I'm thinking right now, in the game, with Baron and Elder, we should be able to just end the game, right? Like, this should be a free game ending, right? Like, it should be no problem, but you can see, obviously, based on the length left of the video, it's not going to be so straightforward, so we're going to have a bit of fighting to do. So we're going to go ahead, clear up the minions, push in. Like, we want to get some of their inhibs. Two of our inhibs respawn as well, so now the playing field is even. The super minions are no longer going to be coming from them. And here, Pantheon kind of catches out Thresh a little bit. Thresh, in a little bit of danger, is able to escape on a sliver of HP. Fiora is split pushing in a 4-1 formation. Now here, I just want to go for towers. We get the tower here. Blasting the Varus just a little bit for free. And being sure to back off when the enemy team shows off. We don't really want to fight. We just want to take their towers if we can. And here, in the late game, if you actually are able to take blue buff like this, it's great, because this basically gives you unlimited ammo for your rockets, and you can basically just spam rockets, which gives you extra range and gives you an extra level of safety. Now here, Thresh spotted over the wall, which is kind of where I thought he was, and he doesn't catch anybody out. Even if he did, there's literally no one with him. So now Ahri is pushing the top lane. I'm thinking that, we can use this distraction to push in the mid lane and get this inhibitor. Name of the game with Baron is to get inhibitors or end the game, right? Like, getting tier 2 towers is not really that useful. You want inhibitors to get that super minion pressure. So here, once again, I'm gonna focus the tower. Now, enemy team is coming to defend. Wind wall comes up. I'm gonna have to back on off. Not able to really pick that one up. Tornado hits onto Nami. Now I'm on the rockets, back to my job of poking people and chunking them out before the fight. I mean, honestly, I'm full build, 100% crit. I should be packing a real punch right now. Only Thresh is here to defend. We're just gonna clear up these minions. Thresh is taking a ton of damage. Varus taking a little bit of damage as well. Volley comes in. I'm gonna flash away, maintaining my distance, maybe getting the reset onto Volley. And unfortunately, Volley is not dead somehow. And yeah, somehow no one on the enemy team dies. I here get rooted. I'm gonna have to cleanse so that I don't get hooked by Thresh. And yeah, so we are now in a very, very sticky situation. No Elder, no Baron anymore. So we're gonna have to now back off. We did get 2 inhibs from that push though, which is a really, really huge advantage, but it's not the end of the game. So that did kind of surprise me a little bit. So now, honestly, at this point in the game, because of how late it is in the game, shield bow is actually starting to fall off. And the reason I say that is because the shield bow shield is a lot more significant in the early and mid game, where shields matter a lot more. Now, in the late game, to be very honest, even though I believe there isn't any anti-shield on the enemy team, however, kind of issue with this shield is simply the fact that in late game, this shield is really not that huge compared to in the early game in terms of proportion of how much damage champions can do. Like, even with shield bow, I believe if I get caught out, I probably still die. So, since I still have my shield bow up, I'm leaving it with me. But when my shield bow gets procced, I really want to sell it and just get like Bloodthirster, right? So here Varus gets completely caught out by Nami. We're blasting him. We get a reset onto the Varus. We get a little bit rooted here. Take a ton of damage. Shield bow procs and actually does absorb a lot of damage. Now Thresh is getting caught. Thresh dies. We get the reset. And now we're really low, so we're not going to play with fire. We're not going to walk up. We're not just going to recall. Now Baron is up and Elder is coming up. So we do want to get both of those objectives. With 3 people down on the enemy team, it should be quite free. So here, because Elder has not yet spawned, Pantheon is actually ulting into the Baron pit to do Baron. Only Volley and Yasuo are alive, and they're busy clearing the waves from the super minion waves from the fact that those 2 inhibitors are down. So here we get a free Baron, and now we're headed to Elder. Now Elder, I wouldn't say it's completely free, but it's mostly free because the enemy team has still not yet respawned. We should be able to actually burst it down. So I think it is free. We should be able to burst it down in time to before the enemy team actually comes. Yeah, we do get the Elder Dragon there as I accidentally mess with the volume a little bit. And here at this point, you know, my whole team is deciding to push, so I'm not going to back here. I'm full build anyway. I just want to swap out my shield bow for my Bloodthirster. So here we're just blasting at max range, whoever we can hit, which is not a lot of people at the moment. So here, I don't want to go too far out because I'm going to get caught out and just die, which is going to be very bad. Speaking of getting caught out here, I get caught by a root. I pop my stasis, and I'm going to flash away, but I get caught again, and then I end up just dying like an idiot. And that's kind of just what I was talking about, right? This is horrible, right? You want to play on the edge and squeeze as much as you can, but you don't want to die for it, right? So in this case, I was thinking, I have my flash, my cleanse, and my stasis. I'm surely fine, right? I get caught, I have to cleanse, I stasis to not get caught again, and then I flash out, but I get caught yet again, and I end up dying, looking pretty foolish, to be very honest. But thankfully, my team has Elder and Baron, and there's no way the enemy team can defend, so we end the game anyway, despite my huge error there in the late game that could have lost my team the game potentially if we were not this far ahead. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.